Brennan Lumsdon, our first performer of the evening.
Thank you, Myles. I'm not funny. But thank you for the preamble. I appreciate that. I do. How you guys all doing? Everyone's doing good? This is great. I see a couple people I know. I can't do a third of my jokes now. Thank you. It's like, don't invite family, friends. You're like, oh, fuck, that's not gonna work. That said, though, thank you guys all for coming. Honestly, this is a big night for Myles and myself. I've never done this before, so we're gonna see how this goes. Am I not telling you? Is it? Well, there we go. Eat the mic, that's what Luke said. Eat the mic, I'm eating it. There we go. Well, I gotta say though, thank you guys for all being here at the May Care Brewery for hosting this event, which is pretty cool. You know what I mean? Big hand of applause for them, which is great. In downtown Winnipeg. Downtown Winnipeg, what a place. What a place on earth. You know what I mean? People that live down here, I live down here, are like, it's not that bad. It's okay. I mean, I don't know, if you compare like Winnipeg to like any recent Grand Theft Auto game, it's pretty similar. I don't know, it's pretty close, I mean, but sometimes I'm like, what in the fucking hell crackhead shit's going on over there? I'm really glad it's happening over there instead of happening like right in front of me, which, speaking of which, a couple years back, and I decided one night when I was at a party that I wasn't exactly having the best of times at, I decided, all right, I'm gonna walk home, fuck this, I'm going home. And so I stumbled, and I was going through downtown thinking, I'm safe, I'm strong, I got this, that's fine. It was the middle of the night, and I happened to cross one guy who squared up with me, and I was like, fuck, he's gonna mug me. Damn it, I've been avoiding this for years, shit. And he was at least, from when I could stand, like 7 feet tall with a big green mohawk and a knife, and he just, and I was like, shit, all right. And I was like, dude, all I have in my bag is like a grinder and a pipe, and you're not getting it, okay? It's all I have, man. And so we did kind of a dance for a while, jumped around, and then eventually I was like, dude, I'm on acid. And he's like, what? I was like, yes, because I did. I took acid that night at a party earlier, and I was not having a particularly good time, so I decided to walk home on Halloween night at 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm very intelligent. And so anyway, he thought it was fucking hilarious, and he was like, really, man? You're walking home at 4 o'clock in the morning on Halloween night on acid? I was like, yes, I am. And he was like, and so we just hugged it out. He was a good guy. We still don't mug each other. It's great. It's great. But at that point, I realized maybe it was time to buy a dog. It was like just for the security of it. And when you think about it, I mean, dogs are like man's best friend. Where cats, on the other hand, are sort of like man's complacent roommate. When dogs get in the door, they're just sort of like, oh my God, dude, I'm so happy to see you. I have so much I peed. You're like, oh. Or with cats, they're like, you're home? Cool. Food? No. I also peed. You have to figure out where. I'm like, fuck. That said, you never really get used to pee. You don't get used to it. For instance, another story from way back when I was a kid, maybe like 15 or 16. I'm from Selkirk, Manitoba. Anybody from there? You're from the Boons? You're from the Boons. I know that. Yeah, there we go. So there's a lot more bush parties in Selkirk. Before phones existed, so there's way more debauchery than you should, know of, which is fine. I was at my friend Sky's party in the middle of nowhere. I was smoking a joint outside, underage, don't tell anyone. And a friend of mine left the party immediately to go and take a leak. He goes out, stumbles his way, whips this thing out, and pisses all over my friend Sky's trampoline. Goes back in, stumbles. I was like, wow, all right. Not even 15 fucking minutes later, he comes out, let's go jump on the fucking trampoline. He runs over, slides off the other side, hits the ground. Who the fuck pissed on a trampoline, man? I was like, that's Tim. Tim's married, 2 kids, great guy. Good dude. At that point, I gotta say, it was the first penis I'd ever seen in my entire life. Not that I've seen a lot, but I've done some support work, so you see a lot of dick in support work. Respectfully, But that said, though, it was the first penis I'd ever seen in my entire life. I was 17, and I thought, wow, it's when I learned there are growers and there are showers. Okay? And like showers clearly never had any problems in their childhood at all, or not insecure by any means, where I'm a grower, and I've learned to love it, because at 13, I was like, it's supposed to be bigger. What's happening? Until the right moment happens, and then you're like, oh, it's kind of like having a grower is kind of like having a mood penis. It's only big, if it likes you. So you really get to know where you're at with people, and they're like, what's going on? You're like, I'm shy. I have, though, learned to love my body. I really have over the years. Like, I absolutely love my own tits. I know that might be a weird word for some people, but I do, They're kind of like a couple of bearded ladies, Something really comfortable for people. They really can get used to it quick. Problem is, when it comes to dating, which I'm going to jump to dating, because it took a long time to get comfortable with myself about that, is that, when they say we're getting into a relationship of any kind, you got to be careful. You got to look for those red flags. You know what I mean? You got to look for them. The problem with me is, fuck, I love the color red. Like, oh, she lit my bed on fire. She's so passionate. Fuck, she must love me. I gotta say though, my pops didn't teach me much about relationships. He left very early in my life. And I think he left early to teach me the value of independence. And I'm still waiting for him to return to teach me the next sage lesson in life. My mom, on the other hand, she did not raise a quitter, but she did raise a procrastinator, and I do that pretty much every fucking day of my life. So, in fact, the last thing I procrastinated on for far too long was, I was about like 15 or 16, and I bought this car. I had a little bit of opportunity in my hands, and I thought, fuck it, I'm gonna get this car. And this car, to me at least, I loved this car. I was like, love at first sight. I was like, this car is the one. And I drove that car for years. I spent so much time inside that car. I loved that car. This car was my car. My buddies were like, dude, this car's killing you. This car fucking sucks. You gotta get rid of this car. That car needed maintenance. It needed time. And eventually, after 13 fucking years, I decided I gotta give this car away. This car is killing me. I gotta do it. Weirdly enough, as soon as I gave that car away, best car that guy's ever fucking had. Like, best car ever. And everyone names their car. And I really did love this car. I thought this car was the one. When I called that car, my ex-girlfriend of 13 years. It was a good time. Yeah, boo, yeah, I see. I realized I needed to get rid of that car when that car started telling shitty stories about me at parties with my friends. I was like, that car's gotta go. That car's gotta go. Let's see what else I got here. Gotta say I'm a bud tender, so I sell plants legally for the government. Apparently that's a fun thing, But the same thing comes with it. They say that old trope with bartenders. They're like, a bartender's gonna give you advice. You come in, they're gonna be like, hey man, what's up? Leave your wife. It's not, you're like, okay. Same thing comes with bud tenders. A guy will walk in, look me straight in the eyes and be like, man, I need you to find me something that's gonna take my anxiety away, help me sleep, make me able to stand my fucking kids. And I'll look right back at him, take a beat, think about it and go, have you tried Loosey Goosey Scary Berry? I haven't tried that. And I'm like, you should try it. I heard it was good. He's like, it is good. Oh, there we go. Eat it. But most of my clientele, my customers though, they're just like, I'm a fucking loser. I'm just buying weed. And I'm like, look, no, you're not. Okay, you made a choice. You got up, you came out that day. And just keep this in mind. Every single dead body on Mount Everest was once a very motivated person. Okay, so you're fine. You're okay. Shit. It took 18 tries before they got to the right COVID. Fuck. Sorry, that one's not good. Here's the real thing, okay? Nobody on this planet has ever seen the worst version of you except for maybe the corner store across the street from your house. They have seen you on rough days. Rough days. They're like, how you doing? Not great. Okay, milk, weed, cookies, all right. I think I'm gonna end early on this one. I'm just greasing the wheels for everybody else who wants to go up. But I'm greasing the best I can. But I gotta say though, as a straight white man, I think I'm speaking for all of us in the room when I say I think I've said enough. Thank you, DMC, for hosting this. I appreciate it. I hope this becomes a regular thing. Please, buy the mead. Buy anything up there. Please, just support the house. I think I was supposed to push the booze. I'm pushing the booze. We got some... we've got some great comics tonight, I think. I'm pretty sure. I'm positive. No, you guys are lovely. That's it for me, though. Thank you all. You've all been great. Have yourselves a great night. And please drink a little. Anyway, I'm not telling more jokes. Myles Taylor, everybody, our host.
You're fucking on.
Uh-oh. Yeah. If I could have just like a third of Brennan's beer, that's all I need. Just a third of that. So yeah, as Brennan said, I'm Myles, for those of you who don't know me. And especially for those of you who don't know me, I am painfully unfunny, and I'm sorry that we're gonna go through this together. But you know what? We're gonna go through it together anyways. So, the weather's finally getting a a little nicer out there after whatever the hell we had for winter. And like, I'm at a point now where because the sidewalks are so clear, I feel like the city has stopped bullying me when I try to get around downtown. There are certain intersections down here where I feel like I'm negotiating with Marlon Brando in the 1972 classic film, The Plowfather. I feel like I'm just rolling up to the intersection going, can I get by? I just want to get to the fucking 7-Eleven. I'm really hungry and sad, and I don't want to be either of those things anymore. And he just looks at me and he goes, you come to me on this, the day of my sidewalks plowing. and I'm like, listen, Marlon, you're dead. Shut up and let me go through. On that note, I'm curious, did anybody walk here tonight? Woo! So for those of you that did, 2 things. Fuck you, I'm jealous. And number 2, what's it like? Take the rest of my set if you want. Go into painfully excruciating detail and tell me what it's like. Because sometimes I feel like Oliver Twist. Please, sir, I want to walk. So just take that time. It's all yours. So, as uncomfortable as that was for both of us, all of us, right now, to go through, traveling for me for work is a lot more uncomfortable. I frequently, when I'm at the airport, I frequently get pulled over and frisked by security. They pat me down, they pat my chair down, check it for bombs, whatever else they might think I'm hiding in there. An Oompa Loompa, who knows? But, see, for me, that might be the only action I get all year. So, when I go through security, I try to look nice, you know? I bring a suit, bottle of wine. Exactly, have a good time. But the weirdest part about it, for me is, like, no matter what I'm doing or how I'm dressed, when I go through customs and they ask for all my documents, they eventually get to my passport. And they're like, they look at it for a minute, and they're like, sir, why do you look different than your passport photo? And I'm like, what do you mean? It's a passport photo. And they always hold me up a little bit longer than they should. And I'm confused by it. So I thought, if you're all interested, I brought my passport photo with me. And I thought I would do a survey to see what you guys think. Pass it around. If you want to pass it around or something. I don't look that different, do I? I know it's not a color photo, but like, come on. So, speaking of traveling, the last time I traveled for work, I got home and I found my girlfriend Claire packing her stuff, and I go, Claire, what are you doing? What's happening? And she goes, I'm leaving you. And I'm like, what do you mean? I just got home. I'm the one that left. What's happening here? She goes, well, I don't like the dynamic between us anymore. And so, you know, it's 10 years. That's a long time. Not as long as having a car that you really, really loved, but it's almost as long. I get where you're coming from, Brennan. So I stopped to consider all of this, all of the ups and downs of our relationship, a series of interconnected ramps, if you will. It wasn't that funny. And finally I just look at her as honestly and sincerely as I can, and I say, Mommy, what do you mean? You're uncomfortable. Jeez. As it turns out, one of the things that we disagreed on was I love sports. All kinds of sports. Wrestling, mud wrestling, but especially golf. Any golf fans in the house tonight? Great. So can I ask you golf fans to explain something to me, please? I'm desperate to figure this out. For the life of me, I got Brennan. When he golfs a lot. Give it up for Brennan, by the way. Give it He golfs a lot, but every time we hang out when he's done golfing, he complains about it. He gets super fucking competitive and super fucking angry. I'm like, Brennan, the fuck? It's golf. You put the ball in the hole. It's not that different than how a baby is made. Like, just do that and you're halfway there. Exactly.
You have to take more strokes in golf.
Some of you do. But yeah, he gets really fucking competitive. Because and the thing he always bitches about constantly, Brennan, I'm sorry to call you out like this, but like, he's always complaining that he can't win, even when he's given the opportunity to golf with a handicap, even when he's given the advantage of a handicap. And so I'm like, so what if I'm better than you? Why is it such a big deal? What does it matter? So can you explain to me why he's so competitive about it? Like, I don't get it.
Brennan, explain yourself.
Have you not heard of a charity golf event? Like, so, listen, I'm gonna leave you guys with something a little personal. Well, I'm just gonna leave you. I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna finish my set and leave. But no, I'm gonna leave you with something a little personal. As you can probably tell, and this is one of the reasons that I was so bummed about, another reason I was so bummed about my relationship working out well, or not working out well, is because Claire was super into furniture, and I'm, well, a chair. For those of you who weren't aware, I'm just a chair. A sentient chair. But one of the things that I struggle with is I have day-to-day support workers who come in and assist me, and they assist me with a condom catheter, which is exactly as fun as it sounds. And one day I had somebody come in to assist me, and I'll just hold for the phone. It's fine. I'm used to waiting for electronic ramps and doors, so a phone is never gonna be ready.
Buttons that don't work.
Exactly, buttons that don't work. But yeah, so this person came up to my apartment one day to assist me, and I wasn't wearing the condom catheter, and I was ready to put it on, and I had asked her if she'd put one on before, and she said no, and I'm like, no worries, I can walk you through it. It's a fairly straightforward process. And she looked at me and said, can you do it? And I thought, as most of you are probably thinking, I thought three things. One, no. if I could, I wouldn't be here. 2, no. And 3, have you seen my passport photo? Does it look like I can do that myself? That's it for me. Thank you all so much for coming. We've got a little bit of time left for open mic. Buy a beer, sign up for some open mic time, and enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you all again so much.
All right, folks, we're coming in at about 8:30, which means we got 30 more minutes for you all to embarrass yourselves on stage. Come on, sign up. Let's go. Everyone's like, fuck that. I'm not doing this shit. Please.